Hey, I'm Jonathan Sewell at Mitchell Mazda on the Boulevard in Enterprise, and I've been driving this beautiful 2018 Mazda 6 Grand Touring, and I want to take you on a little test drive with it and go over a few features. Let's jump into it. A little surprise is that in 2018, the Mazda 6 Grand Touring and higher got the 2.5 turbo. So I did just want to show you a few of the fuel, which I know may be hard to see, but at least I can recount that to you in our Mazda infotainment, Mazda Connect system here. Scroll over to applications, fuel economy monitor, and this year does qualify for the cylinder deactivation. However, of course, since this is a turbo, it does not have it because of how our turbo is set up with those outside 1 and 4 cylinders to charge or pre-charge the turbine. So looking at this fuel economy monitor, of course, like I said, I've been driving it for about the last 2 weeks, and I'm averaging down here currently 29.7. This drive, which we'll refer to later, is at 19.2 as just getting started. But we have some pretty good county highway roads to drive, so we'll see how that improves as we move forward. I love driving this turbo. It's kind of a little bit of a sleeper on this vehicle because the naturally aspirated engine is pretty quick also, but I happened to have it on a bigger highway yesterday with a 65 mile per hour speed limit, and it would definitely get up and go. So it's a fun ride for sure. I've also had some questions in the last couple of days about CarPlay, and for those of you who've been watching me for a while, you know that I really prefer CarPlay. So I'm going to go ahead and click over there, and I am working on an Android phone, thinking about some options there so I can start doing some Android Auto videos as well. So I'm sorry to leave you guys out. I know I've had a lot of comments on that recently, but here is CarPlay, which was first available late 2018 in the Mazda 6 and Mazda 3. So you know, did a video yesterday talking about resolution on the Generation 7, and this one doesn't have so great of resolution here, but to have that technology is still pretty great. Let me put this down here, it's a little bright. So the questions I had specifically were on Google Maps guidance and Apple Maps guidance. I've run into some problems here. This is iOS 14, straight up 14.0 install on this phone, so let's see how it works. Direct me to Mitchell Mazda. Alright, so let's get started here. We've got about 3 miles until a turn. It didn't tell me when we got started, so I'm not sure if we still have a guidance issue here or not, but we'll try to figure it out. In the meantime, I will come to a stop sign up here and go from there. So I'll check back with you when we get closer to the stop sign. Okay, so we're
turn left onto County Road 65.
And there's the guidance. So I think I've figured out something, at least for this system. But when we come to the stop sign, we'll do a quick acceleration test, and then we'll follow up on the voice guidance.
Turn left onto County Road 65.
Alright, so I'm going to ease out here and then do a nice acceleration. Here we go.
Continue for 6 miles.
Of course, that turbo is super smooth, very quick. And drop back down to the speed limit here. Okay, so the voice guidance, I had my volume turned all the way down because when I clicked over here, I was on the radio station. And of course, there's a lot of back and forth when I don't have the rights to the music on the radio, and of course don't want it to impede you guys hearing me. So what I had to do is make sure that I jumped into Apple CarPlay in the audio section, and when I did that, of course, it started playing from Apple Music. So then I had to go and pause that. So the next check will be how to, well, I guess it's pretty simple, because if I had my volume turned up on the radio, when it came to voice guidance, it would alert me over the radio. And of course, I've got settings on CarPlay that will open up over, or maybe actual Google Maps settings. I know Apple Maps has that settings, that it'll open up, pause the music or the podcast or what have you, and then give me the voice recognition. So that's probably why I didn't have it on a previous video in a CX-30, because I had the radio volume turned down and I didn't click over into CarPlay. Of course, that's not really a concern of yours, because you're fine with playing whatever music you want to. Of course, if you don't want any music playing and you're just enjoying the drive, you'll need to make sure that you don't turn the volume all the way down. You just turn it off of the radio there, so you don't have that that background noise or sound there, that you can still hear the guidance. Well, now that I feel we figured that out, I want to click over to Apple Maps and make sure that it's doing what we want it to do. No big problem here with or issue with Google Maps now that we've figured that out. And so, of course, with the updates here to Google Maps, it does show in the dashboard. So we've got it set up here, and again, I know you see Ed Sheeran there. I don't own the rights to his music, and I'm not playing them, but that's what clicked on from the last song that I was listening to. So this actually shows your directions up here, and then the actual map here, so I could kind of see a little bit more of what's going on. So I'm going to click back to the home screen. Well, actually, I'm going to go back to Google Maps and end that. I'm going to click back to the home screen here, and I'm going to go to Google Maps and end this destination here. And go to Apple Maps. And instead, I'm going to use Siri here to get us started. So if I've got enough data, let's see what we got. Direct me to Mitchell Mazda.
Getting directions to Mitchell Mazda.
Nice little warning there. Pay attention to all signs. Scroll down and hit go. Okay, so no voice recognition or voice guidance yet. Let's see what happens when we get up here in less than a mile to the stop sign. See what it tells us. Let's make sure our volume's still up here. Yep, we're good. Coming to the stop sign. Okay, no guidance. I'm going to click over to the maps settings real quick while I'm at the stop sign. All right, so in the phone settings, the guidance is turned on. Let's see what we got here. Go ahead and ease out. Give it a good acceleration here. Let's just try it again and see if they give me some directions in about 3 miles. Interesting. So I'll check back in with you and see what happens. Right, we're within a mile. Let's see what happens here. Or we're about to be. Nothing so far. That's kind of strange. Got the volume turned up. Somebody stopped in the middle of the road there. Okay, so still have nothing. I guess the answer for now is use Google Maps if you want guidance as far as audible voice guidance. I'll keep working on this, and I think what I'll also do is give it a shot in one of the newer vehicles, or one of the new vehicles I should say, and make sure that it's just not an issue with the 2018, 2019 models. Let's click out of CarPlay for a minute and look at the fuel economy that we first glanced at here. So go back to the home screen, scroll down to, which I didn't end that guidance. So we'll see what happens here when I get close. So go back to the fuel economy monitor, and so you see this drive, I'm up to 28.9, and actually even with those kind of quicker than normal accelerations, I've actually gained a tenth of a mile per gallon here overall. So and you can see kind of these last couple of minutes here, and when I was on the highway, I was getting pretty good fuel economy, and So not too shabby for the turbo, especially on this size vehicle. You have a lot of performance and great fuel economy. And that's one thing that I like about the Mazdas, specifically with the 2.5 and the 2.5T. You really don't have to worry about how you drive them. Just have fun, be safe, of course, and legal. But you always end up getting around, you know, the 28 to 30 miles per gallon, and you know, still have a great drive. So I've really enjoyed driving the Mazda 6. Of course, if you've been watching me for a while, I greatly appreciate it, but you know how much I love ventilated seats, which this Grand Touring does not have. It does have heated seats, but you have to upgrade to the Grand Touring Reserve or Signature for the ventilated seats. So I have missed that the last several weeks. However, today and yesterday it was in the, well, yesterday I think it was in the 40s, but it was in the 50s. So we are getting to a cooler time of year, which is nice. So I don't have to be too far away or just reminiscent, I guess, of the ventilated seats. Thank you for joining me for the look of the 2018 Mazda 6 Grand Touring. We won't wait and see what happens with Apple Maps. I'll still try to figure that out. Like I said, I may have an amendment here to the video or an add-on in a new vehicle if the guidance is working, so you can just see maybe it was a thing with you know, this old, newer software and the older CarPlay setup here, the phone mirroring, which I wouldn't understand, but we're going to test it and see anyway. But we did get Google Maps working. So like I said, right now, since you can have Google Maps in the dashboard, use it with your, if you want the voice guidance, and Apple Maps if you have a watch or just want the visual guidance. But I'm Jonathan Sewell on my way to Mitchell Mazda on the Boulevard, and I really appreciate you watching. And you can call or text me at 334-718-0504 with any more questions, comments, or maybe you figured it out and I just don't know what I'm doing. Whatever the situation is, I appreciate you, and I really can't wait to see you on the next one. Okay, so I'm in the Mazda 6 2020 Grand Touring and just connected here to CarPlay, going to see. Let's just try Siri real quick. See if I can direct me to Chick-fil-A.
One option I see is Chick-fil-A on US 84 Frontage Road. Let me know if I should call one of them or get directions for you.
Let's go with that one.
Starting route to Chick-fil-A.
And bingo.
Proceed to Rucker Boulevard, then turn left.
We have voice recognition, so something's a little funny, I guess, with the iOS 14 and the 2018 that I'm driving now. So now we've got voice recognition in Apple Maps and Google Maps. So just wanted to update you with that.